troops should leave the country.
Yes, of course. This is natural. When we meet with the American side, give our demands for the withdrawal of the forces and what will be their demand from their side. But we are in the initial stage and the confidence building measures so far.
Is peace possible without this?
I think everywhere in the world when there is war, but the final decision will be taken on the table. And all the wars, all the things which are fought in past also, but the last and final decision will be taken on the table. I think now it is the suitable time for one issue also, that this should be solved on the table. That General Bilal is basically a military person, and he is chief commandant of this American forces in Afghanistan. So his duty is, or his task is to fight. When he says that the war is not a solution for Afghanistan, or we cannot win the battlefield, so it means that the Americans have also realized that now it is the time that we should solve the Afghan issue through negotiations on the table. So this is a positive step, and we welcome this direct negotiations with the Kabul regime. Sure. Because first of all, we do not recognize the Kabul administration as a legal government of Afghanistan, because this government has not been an elected government of the people of Afghanistan. This government has come on power under the shadow of the invasion, and with some sort of compromise between the Americans and the political parties in Afghanistan. So in result, this government is on power, and this government does not represent the people of Afghanistan. That's why we deny always direct negotiation with them before we solve the problem with the Americans. Now, as the government...
No direct contacts with Kabul government?
We have no direct contact with Kabul, yes.
Do you control Talibans on the Afghani territory? All of them? Or like...
The Taliban, they have control on the Afghan territory?
Yeah. Does your influence reach all those on the ground in Afghanistan?
You see, actually, for the last 17 years, the war which is going on in Afghanistan, it is with the support of the Afghan people. Otherwise, it is very difficult as party to fight one party for 17 years with 48 countries of the world, NATO and America, with all sophisticated weapons, with all kinds of latest weapons. So this is the support of the nation with the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, and it shows that we have influence over the whole things. And right now, it's according to the survey which has been done by the Western countries, more than 70 to 75% of the land is practically under our control. And it's controlled by Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, militarily, and also in the civil life. Every time, everywhere, in every provinces, districts, if we see the local people, they are in contact with us. They are not going to the government offices and all this because of the corruption and other problems that they have. But they are approaching Islamic Emirates of different offices.
Are you planning any kind of so-called all-Taliban gathering anytime soon following these talks? You
see, we have our own policy, our own strategy. And as I told you before, that our main aim is how to make a way for the withdrawal of foreign forces from Afghanistan. So for this purpose, any meeting, any conference, anywhere which can help these things, so according to our own policy, we just go and participate in that.
No, but are you going to initiate this all-Taliban to pass this message to them?
Actually, I must say that the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan is one. Mm-hmm. The head of this Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan is Mullah Haibatullah. You must have heard his name. And all are under his command. He is our leader. From north to south, from east to west of Afghanistan is completely in his control. Either the Taliban who are in the military side or the political side or other sides. So we are all together. There is no any other faction in that. If you mention some other parties in Pakistan and other things, they are not with us. They may be the whole country. Nobody is fired a single bullet. So it shows that Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan is one, not in many other things. Though the Kabul regime, the Kabul administration, every time they blame that there are 20 groups of different things fighting. But in those days when the ceasefire was announced, there was no single bullet fight. It means that they are one. There is no such decision.
Direct negotiation with Afghani parties, I mean Jamiat Islami, Islamic Party of Afghanistan.
We have already said this, that our negotiations for the peace process has two parts. The first part is with the Americans. All those matters which are related to the Americans, like withdrawal of the forces, delisting, the blacklist, and officially recognizing political office, and there are many other issues which are related to the Americans. This should be discussed with the Americans on the table. Those matters which are related to the Afghan side, which are mostly internal affairs, the future government and constitution, and there are many other issues that can be discussed with the Afghan side also. But before that, the American side should guarantee, and they should fix a timetable for the withdrawal of their forces. When they gave an international guarantee for the withdrawal of their forces, then it is possible to talk to the Afghan side also. But in Afghanistan, with those political parties who have influences over the people of Afghanistan, not this present government, because the present government does not have support of people in Afghanistan. It's a government which has been imposed by force by the American and the people. They do not have massive support. So, but with the other political parties, yes, we will inshallah have the Afghanistan. I was with the present government in Kabul. The whole nation is with us, and they are fighting against Americans, and they are against the American occupation. And what is the aim of Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan in Afghanistan? That we want to liberate this country from the American forces. We will not tolerate a single American soldier in Afghanistan. And we want the soil of Afghanistan that it should be not used against our neighbors in other countries, especially American and Western countries. So all those terrorist groups like Daesh and all these things which are in Afghanistan, we will not let them, they should be a headache for the Central Asian countries or our neighbors and all these things. And we have a problem inside Afghanistan. When the Afghan problem is solved and the Afghan crisis is being solved, we have no agenda in other countries. We want good relation, especially with our neighbors. If they are Eastern neighbors, Western neighbors, Northern neighbors, even including these big powers of all, everywhere when there is peace process conferences internationally. So they are the only one who are objecting our presence in that conference. Now here in the Moscow summit, this Moscow summit was supposed to be held 2 months before, but because of the Kabul regime, which they were opposing our presence, they were not allowing us to come here, or they were opposing. So because of that, it was delayed. You see the Tashkent conference which was there, and Almaty, there was a conference regarding peace conference. The Kabul regime is opposing us. So they mean that they do not want peace in Afghanistan, and the peace is not in their interest. If the peace comes in Afghanistan, they will lose their appointments. They will lose all those benefits which they are getting from the foreign occupation. So that's why opposing this.